Alright folks, we're back. Had our stuff in our Nanopack building, almost done with the last parts we need for the basic chemical industry medium. But we do have the miners produced. We've got 3 small miners and we already have 1, so I'm going to pick all of those up. I'm going to hit B and I'm going to hold the Alt key while I've got my deploy element selected. Alt usually does the opposite. Like if it's a deploy element, Alt will pick it up. So usually Alt reverses whatever you're doing. So where am I going to put these miners? I'm going to put them over here. You see, they produce ore and put ore on the ground after you charge them. So I'm going to put them all in a row right here, kind of in a little clump, with each type of ore, with enough room to put another small mining unit beside each one, so I'll have 8 total. So I'm just going to move them over here. So I'm going to select my small miner, my basic small miner, and I'm starting on something that's level just so I get it straight and level. I'm going to put it out until it hits the wall. I'll pull it back, and then I'll go to this wall, pull it back, and that's as far into the corner as I can get it. So that can't be totally on the ground. I'm just going to leave it hovering in the air there, and then I'll do the next one. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one right next to that one. Down. I'm using page down, page up, and my arrow keys. And notice that that's touching now, so I'm just going to get them on the same height. I'm going to kind of eyeball it here. Nope, don't want that. One up. So then we'll move it out until it doesn't touch, and then we'll put that one up. So when I put the second small miner down, I'll just put a second row here, so I'll have 2 rows, 2 for coal, 2 for quartz, etc., etc. So let's put the next one up, get it out there too. I'll show you what my ultimate goal is here in just a moment. I'm going to leave that one in the air right there for now, and I'll move it in a minute. Let me get this other one over there too, so that I have them all in place. And we'll move it this way until it turns blue, and put it in place too. And then I'll hit the 9 key so I can move stuff, and then I'll move this one down where I really want it. Let's go down, page down. Let's take a look at it, line it up. Looks like that's level. And put that one out. It's that military in me, dress right dress. Whoops, I didn't want to do that, so I'll hit a different key and go back to it, and then page down. Okay, let's see here. Let's move this to the side and move it down so it's level, and move it to the left. Alright, so now what I'll do is when I get my second row, I'll put a second row down in front of there and I'll be good to go. Alright. The reason I put them over here is because I wanted them in the edge of the tile, and you can see I'm on the border. But I wanted them to be where there was clear room underneath them to gather the ore. So that's the main thing. Do I need to put them on a platform? No. Can I put them on a platform? Yes, as long as the laser's sticking through the platform, right? Or there's a hole in the platform for the laser. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of build mode, and then we'll set all of these up. Alright, so we'll just go from left to right, facing away from my building. And we'll activate these. Coal first. Start. got 13 charges. So previously I had told you that I trained this up to get 7 charges per day. That's not true. I trained it up to get more charges per day, but I had to go through a different training session to get that done. So the one I showed you was capacity, how many charges I have overall, and I trained it up to 7. I think I'm up to like 14 now that I can have. So I'm going to calibrate this. Now this is a long process. When I get large miners later on, I'm not going to do this whole charging. I'm going to hit start and X, and I'm going to skip all of that ore on the ground and just let the miner do its work. Okay, but that's when I have large miners, and that's when I have a lot of them. I don't have time for that right now, and I need this ore, so I'm going to go through the full calibration, and unfortunately that's going to take a little time. But we'll get through these. Get this set up, so it's going to be out here somewhere. Now, it could be over here where I missed. Oh, no, it's not. Good, got that one quick. Okay, so we got 2,400 liters of ore. Good stuff. Okay, I don't have it linked. Alright, so it told me I don't have it linked. This stuff's not going into any container. So I'm going to hit 6. And I'm going to link it to my primary container. Doop. Come on, there we go. And the last one. Alright, so each one of these now should be linked 2, 3, 4. Okay. Alright, so we got that first one going. Do the second one for hematite. Same thing. Calibrate. Now, until I train it, I won't be able to calibrate more than 4 a day. So I've got some training going on. As you can see, I've got more charges accumulated, but I've also got more accruing per day. So gotta keep that training going. And this is playing the game here is such a drag. I hate doing this, but later on we won't have to mess with it. Alright, let's see. Where do I think it is? Ha! Got lucky. So I'm going to show you a program. It's actually kind of a cool site out there on the web you can use to keep track of all your miners when you have multiple miners on many planets and different types of ore and stuff. And it tells you when you need to go charge different miners. So it's really kind of a cool thing. It keeps track of your talents and everything else, and you know what you can do. So it's actually pretty cool. Or it takes into account your talents, I should say. So we've got some more on the ground, more on the ground. Get these last ones done up here. No, I didn't hit the start button. I'll have to hit it at the end. That's alright. Don't know if that's the smart thing to do. Oh, it was. Alright, how about that? Alright, got real lucky with all 3 of those and got them all quick. That doesn't happen that often. Another 2,400 liters of ore. Go ahead and start it up. Close. Get this last one down here. Bauxite. Calibrate it up. 4 charges today, but we got 2,400 liters of ore for each type so far, except for this one. We actually have more of this than anything else, so I won't be upset if we don't get 2,400 liters. Let's see here. Way out here. So sometimes you only get like 50% charge. You just gotta find the area in there. It's got the largest. You don't. That's about the best you can do. And you know what? That's okay. Don't run your battery down below that line. Just do whatever you can get. If you can't get it within 2 or 3 hits, there. Another 2,400 liters of ore. So we got 2,400 liters of each type of ore. Okay, starting out after launch. That's huge. So you want to do that every day. Right? If you can get trained up enough, you want to do 8 miners and do each one every day, or at least as often as you can. Because this ore is awesome. This ore that you get later on, I'm not going to charge these every day. I'm going to charge them every 3-4 days, whatever. Keep them, you know, keep them over 60, 70% or whatever. That'll be good enough. And I'll pick up all this ore later on. We've got like, oh, look at that. We got coal, quartz, hematite, and bauxite. So we got a little bit of everything there. All right. So let's look at our. Okay, so we've finished making all of our components. We can make 2 miners. I can't make them in my Nanopack though, right? When I click show what you can make in your Nanopack, you know, if I try to add this, it won't let me add it because I can't create that in my Nanopack. But I can create it in here. So what do I need to do? I need to set out a container or 2 here. So let's look in here. I have some extra small containers. I'm gonna equip it, hit B, and I'm just gonna put 1 right there. So here's what you got to do with assembly or any kind of industry. You got to have a container going into it, feeding it, right? We're going to make that this container because this is where all the parts are right now, right? So there's all my parts and bits and pieces are all in here. And so we're going to hit B, we're going to hit 6, which is our link tool, and we're going to link this to our medium assembly line. Then we're going to link this to the container, so as the output. So I went from the container to the assembly line showing it was an input, and from the assembly line to the container showing it was an output. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to look in here. I've got my schematics in. We're going to look at configuration. Okay, I've already typed it in partly. Basic chemical industry M. So I'm going to hit apply. Alright, so I've got my schematics, so it's going to let me build this. Okay. And should be good. Look at my containers. Okay, it's going to show my in container. Shows my out container. Okay, my out container is empty. My in container, though, has all of my parts. If any of these were red, for example, it would show, if I had none of these, it would show this line red, so I would know what I needed to make, right, in my Nanopack to be able to put in there to provide it as an input container. I don't have to use my primary container as my input container, but right now I don't have a lot of options, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go ahead and produce 1. Actually, I'll produce 2. Alright, because I got enough stuff to produce 2. My containers show I have enough stuff to produce 2. So I'm going to go to production. I'm going to hit start. Okay. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Right? As soon as it gets done in 32 minutes, it's going to produce 1, and another 32 minutes after that it'll produce another. So in the next video I'll set up the fuel industry for you and show you how that works. So until next time, I will catch you all later. Just wanted to make a note. Came over to the market here to buy a few things to get ready for the next video, and lo and behold, there's an abandoned speeder here. I say abandoned. If you hit Alt V, you'll see that this symbol that's under that, over that core, shows it's an unclaimed construct. Somebody parked this here and left it too long. So I looked at it and I said, oh, it's got a extra small dynamic core, and that's what's damaged. Once I replace it, this will belong to me. So I'm going to replace it, and we will jump in here and get that done right now. If I can get to the, there we go. Let's see here. So I'm going to go to advanced. I actually have to have a core in my backpack, my Nanopack, or my primary container in this case, and I'll hit replace element. Okay, warning, we'll trash the element, continue, blah blah blah, don't show me this message again. Okay, so this is now my vehicle, right? If you notice, I can get in it. I'm going to make sure it's set up as a flying construct, and then I'm going to drop arch HUD in it. There we go. And let's see if there's any fuel in it. Let's see here. 3 is our fuel tool. Yep, there's fuel in it, so we're good to go. It actually has, this is a honking big engine, a basic atmospheric engine medium. That's friggin' huge, huge for this stage of the game. And it has a an engine here on the front. I believe this is an extra small. Yeah. And it's facing this way, and what that does is it allows the person to slow down without actually using atmospheric brakes. They don't have any atmospheric brakes in here, which is really odd. And let's see, they've got hovers on it, so they've got some adjusters. So they've got one going up and down, one going left and right. There should be some on the back here too, but I do not see them. I would have put adjusters on the back. I bet this thing turns horribly. Okay, but I can't take this right now because I already have a vehicle over here that I can't compact, and I already have a compacted vehicle in my backpack. So I can't very well do much with this vehicle, and it's got too big of an engine for me to compact anyway, probably. I'll have to look and see. But anyway, I just wanted to point that out. I came over to get prepped for the next video, and I'll add this in at the very end just as a little bonus round to tell you, don't park at the market. If you get called off to take out the trash and then you get grounded for a day, you're going to lose your vehicle. So what you need to do is either park outside that grid, outside of the market territory here, outside here somewhere. If you park outside of it, your ship won't get deleted or anything, right? So if you're not sure, park over here, take the extra little walk. It's not going to kill you, and that way you won't lose your vehicle. So I'm going to go ahead and end this now,